You know, everyone is talking about the massive promise of Web3 and this decentralized internet, right? An internet that's actually owned by us, the users, and not a handful of giant corporations. But there's a huge, fundamental problem that's holding the whole thing back. The bridges, the gateways we use to get to this new world, well, they're kind of shaky, they're centralized, and honestly, they're fragile. So what if we could build a better bridge? Okay, let's dive into exactly that. We're going to break down the vision for a technology called TOI Gateway, which is setting out to be that bridge.
So before we can really get our heads around the solution, we first have to understand the problem. And the problem with getting onto the blockchain today, well, we can call it the internet's broken bridge. It's this absolutely critical link between us and that decentralized future. And right now, it is just not built to last.
And this visual really says it all, doesn't it? You've got all these users, all of us, trying to access the blockchain, but we're all being crammed through a single centralized service. So what happens if that service gets overloaded? Or worse, what if it goes down? Well, the connection is just severed, access denied. This isn't just some theoretical risk. It's a real bottleneck that creates a single point of failure for the whole system.
Now, at the very heart of this problem is a classic challenge in computer science, the blockchain trilemma. The basic idea is that you have these three amazing things you want: scalability, so it can handle millions of users; security, so it's safe; and decentralization, so no one person is in control. But you can usually only get 2 out of 3. If you crank up the scalability, you often have to sacrifice some decentralization. It's this core technical puzzle that today's gateways just haven't been able to crack.
So let's just quickly break this down into 3 key issues. First, that single point of failure we just saw. If a major service has a bad day, huge parts of the crypto world literally just stop working. Second, this creates a real dilemma for you, the user. You're forced to choose: either use an easy, centralized service and basically hand over control, or wrestle with the complexity of managing your own keys. And finally, it all comes back to that unresolved trilemma.
Okay, so that's the problem. The bridge is broken. Now what? Well, this is where the TOI Gateway comes into the picture. It's a totally new approach designed from the ground up to fix that broken bridge by completely rethinking how we get to the decentralized web.
And the core concept is actually brilliant in how simple it is. Instead of forcing us to choose between the old internet and the new one, TOI Gateway just fuses them together. It takes all the speed and the smooth, seamless user experience we expect from a Web 2.0 service and combines it with the rock-solid, user-controlled security of Web 3.0.
And here's the magic of how it works. On one side, you have centralized hosting, which makes the interface, the part you see and touch, super fast and responsive. But on the other side, all the critical stuff, all the processing, is decentralized. And the most important part is this: you get all the speed of Web 2.0, but you always hold your own keys. The gateway never, ever takes custody of your assets.
Now, this unique design has a massive benefit. It directly attacks that single point of failure problem we were just talking about. This system is engineered from the very beginning for zero downtime. Let's see how that's even possible.
Okay, this right here, this is the secret sauce. In step 1, when everything is normal, your data isn't just sitting on one server. It's copied across a bunch of different nodes. Now watch what happens in step 2. One of those nodes fails. Poof, it's offline. In a normal system, you'd probably get an error message. But here, in step 3, the network doesn't even flinch. Your device just automatically grabs the data from the other copies. For you, the user, it's totally seamless. You never even know anything happened. And this is the result. Not 99.9% uptime, 100% continuous access. This is how you deliver the kind of reliability people expect from, say, Google or Amazon, but you're doing it in a totally decentralized way. It's a huge, huge step forward.
But building a better, more reliable gateway, that's just the beginning. The long-term vision for this is so much more ambitious. This isn't just about a single product. It's a 10-year strategic plan to build a core piece of the new internet's infrastructure.
The plan is set to unfold in 3 distinct phases over the next decade. First, the goal is to become the trust standard for secure access. From there, it evolves into a universal exchange for all kinds of assets and data. And the final goal, to actually become the decentralized backbone of the internet itself. So, phase 1, kicking off in 2026, is all about mass adoption.
The idea is to make security and self-custody invisible by using that self-healing network to guarantee 100% uptime and a super simple user experience. The plan is to become the new industry standard, the no-brainer choice for anyone moving away from those shaky, old-school services.
Next up, in Phase 2, the gateway really starts to evolve. It's not just a doorway to your assets anymore. It becomes a multi-currency hub. What does that mean? Well, think about doing seamless cross-chain swaps, like trading Bitcoin for Ethereum without ever needing a centralized middleman. It also means building tools for big corporate clients and becoming the go-to foundation for developers building the next generation of apps.
And this leads us to the final, and by far the most ambitious phase. From 2032 onwards, the vision is for this whole network to mature into a true decentralized backbone. We are talking about a global, peer-to-peer data mesh. I mean, just imagine a worldwide network where data isn't locked away in a single data center, but it's shattered into pieces and spread across systems all over the globe. That's a level of security and scale we really haven't seen before.
So when you put it all together, you can see the journey. It goes from a simple, really secure access point to potentially architecting a fundamental layer of the future internet. That is a massive, massive leap.
And this table just makes that shift crystal clear. I mean, look at the primary use. It goes from a secure wallet access point in 2026 to a global decentralized database and exchange by 2036. And reliability? It evolves from just self-healing from a single server failing to this idea of zero-latency global cloud resilience. And connectivity blows up from focusing on one chain to becoming a universal bridge for pretty much everything.
And this brings us right back to where we started. The big claim here is that this whole architecture finally resolves that pesky blockchain trilemma. By cleverly separating the user experience from the actual processing, the goal is to deliver all three: the security of user-owned keys, the scalability you need for global adoption, and true decentralization of the network. They're not just building another wallet, they're trying to architect a whole new paradigm.
So, we're left with a pretty massive question, aren't we? Is this just another crypto project with big dreams, or is it something more? Could this actually be the blueprint for a new internet? It's an incredibly bold vision, for sure, and it's absolutely one worth thinking about.